Hi, this is Winn Claybaugh. Welcome to my Best of Masters audio blog. For over 20 years, I have interviewed hundreds of the most successful leaders in and out of the beauty industry for Masters Audio Club. Next up is one of my favorite clips. Listen, learn, and enjoy.
So tell us more about your story and your journey. I mean, at what age did you realize that this was a passion of yours, and then what did you do with that passion? And again, this is not just a story about an animal sanctuary. This is about any kind of a cause, anything that you're passionate about. Obviously, you went through your process to get to where you're at today, and the rest of us can learn from that.
Yes, and in this respect, I'm a bit of a late bloomer. A lot of people I meet who work with animals, like myself, they'll tell the stories about, as a child, I picked up all the strays. Actually, that was my mother.
Oh, okay.
In our home, Irish family. Again, I've told you about the English accent, but both my parents were Irish. And my mother was just loved dogs, and she was the rescuer. And I think as a child, it was kind of something my mother did. It really wasn't until I was a bit older. I got together with a group of friends, best friends, good name for it. And collectively, we found that we shared a feeling that there was something wrong with the way it was. And this was back in the late 70s when we started really vocalizing and talking about it. Back then, the situation was pretty bad. And people are very shocked by the number I'm going to give you now. But back in the 70s, they were euthanizing anywhere between 17 and 20 million animals a year in shelters and pounds and that kind of thing. People go, no, you got that wrong. And we say no. Because back then, there were no programs like we have now. We have spay-neuter programs. We have adoption programs. We have a lot of programs. So a lot of dogs don't ever make it into shelters and pounds anymore. We still, to this day, are euthanizing somewhere between 4 and 5 million, which is still way too many, but considerably less. So back in the 70s, the situation was really appalling. Very few animals made it out once they got into the system, whatever that was at the time. And so this group of us, we got together and we said, we have to do something. We can make a difference. We made that pledge to be no-kill, meaning that we did not euthanize for the odd sniffle or, mange or behavior issues, which were very relatable too. So that was a pledge right from the beginning. So I was a little bit older, when we came to our place here in southern Utah, and I like to tell this to our younger staff, I was already in my 40s with my kids, and I had 3 children who were all involved. My middle girl said, quite vocally, I don't think so, and went off and joined the Navy, which was very fine. And she made a wonderful Navy person for many years and is now a school teacher in South Carolina. I'm very proud of her. And 2 of my other kids remained involved. My son became a veterinarian. But that took a long time. That wasn't in the beginning. He was part of the grunt team like we all were. And you mentioned that in the early days, I was direct animal care. That means every single morning, this was 7 days a week too, because we didn't have any of this fancy 5-day-a-week business. 7 days a week, I would go down from my little old single-wide trailer, walk down to the kennel area, and be part of the very small group of people feeding hundreds of dogs. And dogs, I like to say now, especially because of the television show, I actually created Dogtown, which is true. I did. I was the original Dogtown person. So I did that I worked it out. I did it for 7 days a week for 11 years straight.
Wow.
Fed and related to dogs.
My gosh.
Yeah, I was unofficial animal control for our local area because there was nothing. So I was the dog catcher, the odd cat catcher as well. So I did a lot of that very direct, hands-on, which gives me a good basis for the work I do now, which is helping people to do the same kind of work. Right. I've done it. I've walked that path. So I know what that feels like to take care of dogs and cats, too. I've taken care of a lot of cats in my life as well.